Why is it that philosophy and metaphysics matter so much, and why all the individuals and the companies should put more attention on the metaphysics and the consciousness part of doing their work rather than the hard work? The main argument is that when you usually do hard work, everybody can focus on the micro decisions and put a significant amount of time on doing something and do the hard work. But the bottleneck is never the hard work. It's usually the consciousness part and the metaphysics and the philosophy part of succeeding. All the companies have access to significant time resources and significant energy, significant labor, significant talent, but not all of them rise to the top. Some of them are just medium, and some of them are the top companies. And what is really making that difference between a top company and just a normal one is that philosophy, is that metaphysics. And even in many areas, a very small company with a better philosophy can rise up and surpass the top companies and become a large company itself. So in this video, we will discuss why is it that the philosophy is the most important thing, and what can we learn as individuals from that lesson. Whenever we want to do something, we always have micro decisions and we have a general path that we want to go towards. A lot of us have philosophies for a living. A lot of us have reasons for why we should do something, just like companies. Just like companies, for example, like Apple or Nvidia. We also have philosophies in our life and why we are doing what we do. If that philosophy is borrowed from someone, or it's gotten from our society, or not from ourselves, usually our behavior is reactive to the environment, to the things that happen to us, and to everything that we see. However, if that philosophy is generated from inside, for instance, if we came up with our own reasoning, thought for hours on some problems, and created an idea on why we do something we do, it's going to be more about a generated answer or response to what we see. It's not as reactive and it's more purposeful. Similar with the companies. What we want to do is that before we want to do anything, if our philosophy, we got to know that if the decisions that we make are coming from nowhere, in the long run, all those decisions, when they aggregate, will lead to nowhere. The reason being is that, for instance, every single micro decision could be defensible on that time. However, in the long run, they are pointing towards a different direction. They're all reacted to that situation. They're all a response to that situation that you had to make a decision. But the difference between a person with the philosophy is that every decision is pointing as like a vector pointing towards one direction. And in the long run, all those aggregate decisions that one makes are pointed towards one direction. For example, if Apple is creating a product, it's all putting that product towards one direction of being very high quality and very useful and practical in daily life. Other companies, other smartphone companies, they might make micro decisions that are defensible, maybe putting very high quality products in their phones or very high spec products in their phones. But in the long run, when they create the actual phone, all those vectors are pointing towards different directions. And at the end, the phone is not going to be practical because it doesn't have a philosophy of being useful. It's going to be an expensive phone. It's going to not be cost efficient, and it's not even going to be practical as much as a company like Apple does. Or similar with other companies that we see, for example, in electric cars manufacturing, or companies with philosophies of being sustainable, designing everything towards solar energy from the beginning. All those philosophies, they all converge in the long run. And it is those aggregation of all these vectors that really bring that company to have a significant edge in the marketplace. These philosophies, the same way they apply to companies, the same way those apply to individuals. All the decisions you make, if they have a philosophy, in 5 or 10 years or so, you see that they all converge and they all give an individual an edge that is going to be so unique so special that that individual becomes a very unique person that has a specific ability to solve problems that he finds important. And people without a philosophy, they are so all over the place that in the long run, they will not be unique, they will not have a specific advantage, and they might be a normal person or not even a normal person. So as a result, what we can learn from all this discussion is that what really matters, the real bottleneck in the whole world and everything we do, is not really the hard work. You can do the hard work and make all the defensible micro decisions, but never reach to that significant return on investment or significant advantage or significant abilities that are unique to you. You will never get to that if you just work hard. So what is really important is the consciousness part, the metaphysics part of you. And this is very practical. It's paradoxical how it sounds because it's metaphysics, but actually it's very practical in terms of reaching that specific advantage that you have, that philosophy. So what you really need to focus on is your philosophy, is your metaphysics, and the hard work will follow that metaphysics. If you within the right metaphysics, hard work will not feel like hard work, will only feel like a mission that has to be reached, and it's enjoyable to reach that mission because it's for a higher purpose. So we learn from this video is that we have to focus on our metaphysics and our consciousness and our philosophy, because this is the real bottleneck that differentiates us, and it will give us specific abilities that allows us to solve the problems that we find the most important.